joining me, listening to a mixed woman speak.
That's right.
No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace.
She was so passionate. Why so much emotion?
For years I've been told to stay quiet. I shouldn't react. I'm not dark enough to be angry. I say no more. No more. Change is coming. You have to accept that. We will no longer be oppressed. We will stand equally together, hand in hand, the human race. Point blank. If that upsets you, not my problem.
Yes. So why are you here today?
I'm here today because racism is a pandemic. Our leaders are unfair, bigoted, sexist and racist. It is up to us as the people to make a stand and say no, no more. We have to stand up and unify and put our voices and strength together to say no more racism, no more division, no more weakness. We have to be together. Fuck racism, fuck the Tories and fuck Boris Johnson!
My little penknife and cut myself, it would be as red as dude's shirt over there. We bleed the same color.
That's very true. Too right.
And I'm here because I have family still in the States. I'm lucky enough to live here in Scotland, which is civilized as far as I'm concerned, you know. But my family, my first family, my friends, and I'm speaking now with apologies to my Caucasian friends, of my black friends, they're still there. And a part of me feels guilty that I'm here, if that makes sense. I should feel like I should be there with them on the front lines in the fight, but you know what? I could fight from here.
I'm here today because as a white man, I'm opposed to racism, and I think it's important that white people also support black people who are oppressed. And they're not just oppressed by, they are oppressed by white people, but it's not because white people oppress them, it's because the system oppresses them. We've got a capitalist system that exists purely for profits for millionaires and billionaires, and they will always try and divide the working class. So they'll use things like sexism, homophobia, racism to divide the working class. I'm here to oppose that. We're all human beings, we should coexist together, and things like racism should be consigned to the dustbin of history where it belongs.
Your speech had so much emotion before. Can you say why you had such passion for it?
I had so much passion because it's really sensitive. It's about feelings, and what matters is how somebody makes you feel. And if somebody says something to you or does something to you, it really hits you in your heart, and that's what you carry forever. And we shouldn't have to carry stuff like that. We shouldn't have to carry cultural differences or race or anything like that. There's so much more going on in the world, and having that is just an added burden, and we don't need that at all.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I came here because I thought it was being led by Black Lives Matter and not by young socialists. I think I only came just at the end. We didn't know this was happening, and I think I'm so enraged that it wasn't the event it should have been. I think there's nothing more important than this right now. Like, there's nothing more important, and I think, like, I know the peace needs to be disturbed sometimes, and this is one of those times.
I'm here today because, well, I wanted to march, obviously. I almost didn't come because I saw that the Facebook event was run by the Young Socialists, and it seemed quite clear that the Black Lives Matter movement wasn't necessarily the main goal of the protest. And I didn't really like the idea of an open mic because I thought that was too easy for someone to come up and say some shit. And I didn't want to subject myself to that. But a friend of mine said that it was fine and there were loads of people here, so I came down and I realised that I was right, and I yeah, decided to do something about it.
So we saw earlier there was a bit of a scuffle. Could you explain what you saw and if you're a part of it?
I completely disagree with you, Manny. I disagree with you more, Manny. I'm going to leave, yes?
If you disagree with us, you don't want to be
And honestly, just leave it. Nah, I'm not.
Please, don't fight it!
Nah, man. Let's do it.
I mean, yeah, I was part of it. I came and obviously was incredibly angry about this like socialist agenda, which is not, this is not the time for a socialist agenda. And it was bothering me that no one was saying anything about it. And I'm going to take this off. And that it seemed like all the white folks were taking up the space, and there was two black women chatting, and two organisers of the event were just having a little like casual chat in the middle of the audience quite loudly, like not listening to the women who were talking. And I thought, I'm going to do something about this. And I've spent a lot of time being quiet and palatable, and I've decided that I'm not going to be quiet or palatable anymore, and I don't give a fuck if I piss people off, because things need to be said, and if no one else is going to say it, I'm going to say it. So I said it, and I told everyone who was here with the wrong intentions to fuck off. And then people got angry, obviously, because they're fucking idiots. And then some other people started shouting at me and got up in my face, and some kind people came and asked him to leave, and I continued to tell him to fuck off. But I mean, I guess the majority of people here were pretty nice about it.
I'm
yeah.
a member of the Socialist Workers' Party. I'm also a member of the Unite Trade Union movement in Dundee, and I've been a member of these organisations for nearly 50 years. Also an anti-racist and anti-fascist, a long-time campaigner against racism and fascism. I've protested in the 70s against the British National Party, the BNP, the National Front, and we saw them off the streets in the 70s, which was excellent. Sadly, I'm here today again protesting against racism, protesting against the murder of George Floyd. That's why I'm here. That's what made me come to this demonstration today. Saw the massive demonstrations in America, the beginnings of huge demonstrations in Britain, and basically everyone in the country, everyone around the world is angry about racism and fascism and the murder of our comrade George Floyd. That's why I'm here.
So do you have a message for the Dundonian people?
Yes, my message to the Dundonian people is let's live together as humans, and let's despise the system that try to hold us down based on racial relationship. We are all humans. We live together. Racism is a global pandemic that demands a global response and a community response. Thank you so much.
And why are you here today, sir?
I've honestly no idea, other than I think it's the only right thing to do, and there's no other choice. I think the only good choice that a decent human being can make in the circumstances is to turn out today, show support, and do your bit for the whole human race, really. And it's such a simple thing to come along and come down, put on one of these horrible things, and hold up a sign for a wee bit, but it means so much. Nothing means more than turning out. And that's all I've got to say, I'm afraid.
Perfect. Thank you.
I'm here today because I've noticed a lot of things in our society. So last week, people sat down in their homes and watched this video of George Floyd being brutally murdered by the people who are meant to protect us. People sat down and watched the entire 8-minute video. So the question I have for people is, why are you so comfortable watching the body of a black man being brutalized? Why are you so desensitized to it? That is a state of our society just now. Within that same exact day, in Central Park, a woman called Amy Cooper called the police on a black man because the black man told her that you are not allowed to have your dog walking around in this area. She was very, very much aware of her privilege as a white woman, and she made an active decision to assert that power. So when we all stand here in society and pretend like we don't know what is going on, and pretend like we don't that we don't see the injustices. Amy Cooper is proof that that's a lie. Amy Cooper is proof that the systems which permitted for the murder of George Floyd, everyone knows about it. And in society remaining silent and not saying anything about it, we are all complicit in it. And I urge everyone to contact all the institutions that you are part of and ask them, what are they doing specifically for black people? What are they doing specifically for the black employees to protect them?
I don't understand why racism is controversial when it's wrong and it's so obvious.
I can't agree there. Well, I can't agree, sorry.
I want equal rights. I want fairness for all of us. That's me.
No peace. That's a perfect proposal. But,